The Denver Broncos just continue to outsmart the entire NFL, and if you're wondering why Sean Payton is the second highest paid coach in the entire NFL other than Andy Reid, it is because of some of the advanced analytics that we're going to take a look at here and just how much over the talent on our team we are performing. It is proof positive that Sean Payton is worth the first and the second round draft pick we sent for him. He is worth every single dime that we are giving him, and coaching absolutely matters. We're going to break all that down and way more in this video. If you're new to this channel, I am Ben, a diehard Denver Broncos fan. Helps me out a ton if you like the Broncos too, if you would like and subscribe. So looking at this graph here, absolutely wild to just see how over our talent we are performing. If we win against the Raiders, which we should on Sunday, we are talking a 70% chance at making the playoffs, first time in 8 years, and that should not happen. This should be a rebuilding year for the Denver Broncos because we have more dead cap money than any team in NFL history. And so if you look at this graph, on the right side, the further to the right your team's logo is, the more money you are paying guys to not play for you. So the Denver Broncos are giving a ton of money to Russell Wilson, a ton of money to Frank Clark, a ton of money to Randy Gregory to not play for the Broncos. And then up and down on the graph is your team's winning percentage. So we're a blocked field goal away from being in the absolute upper right quadrant of this, meaning we are spending more for guys not playing for us and winning more. And so you should look at where we are right now. The Denver Broncos should be way down here, and that's what we were with Nathaniel Hackett, and I think that's what we would be without any other coach other than Sean Payton. He is an offensive genius. He is a culture builder. He has completely flipped this thing around here, and this is incredibly exciting to see because when you have all that dead cap money, it means you don't have the resources to go out and procure a bunch of first-round picks and a bunch of talent for this. And so it's incredible to me to just see how our defense is outplaying the talent on there. This defense has one first-round draft pick on the entire defense, and that's Pat Surtain. And still, we are one of the best defenses in the league. And I would argue that if you look at the opposing offenses we've played, we have gone up against way tougher offenses than any of these other teams have. Knowing that we've gone up against Kirk Cousins and some of the best wideouts in football. We've gone against Baker Mayfield when he had all of his targets before they got injured. Went up against Pat Mahomes. Went up against, obviously, Lamar Jackson. And still, we are in the top quadrant, and that is why you are seeing sites like the 33rd team say the Broncos are sleeper candidates to make and win a Super Bowl because our defense is playing way out beyond its skis, and it's crazy, crazy exciting. Looking at what Sean Payton is getting out of this defense, that we are leading the entire NFL in amount of times we are pressuring the quarterback. So you have Zach Allen, John Franklin Meyer, Malcolm Roach balling out of control on the inside of that defensive line. And then we have a bunch of guys on the outside, a platoon of pass rushers, knowing that we're about to get Drew Sanders back to that mix as well. It is crazy to me that we have a substantial lead over the Baltimore Ravens when it comes to how much we're pressuring the quarterback. We're about to set the franchise record for sacks. That's how good our defense is. Like, my entire life have known Denver Broncos to be a team that gets after the quarterback, starting way back with Trevor Pryce when I started falling in love with the Broncos, and the fact that this Broncos team is going to be the one that sets that franchise record in sacks is incredible, knowing that none of those guys getting the sacks are even first-round draft picks. Then looking at our one first-round draft pick on here, he is playing at an elite All-Pro, Pro Bowl. If he continues this, we're talking first-ballot Hall of Fame type numbers. He's the best cornerback in football, and there's no argument anymore. Like, coming into the season, people were arguing how good Pat Surtain is. Nobody's arguing that anymore because if you take a look at it, he has the highest rating of all corners. The two guys above him are both essentially safeties, meaning they're guarding the quarterbacks like fourth and fifth option. And so they're not shutting down the best player on an opposing team. They're not going up against Drake London like Pat Surtain did last week, or going against Godwin and Mike Evans like he did against Tampa Bay. Pat Surtain is him, and it is this reason that you see our players come out and just be like, yeah, we're a playoff team, and none of us even are debating we're a playoff team. You're seeing all offseason, you heard Cortland Sutton, Jaleel, Javonte, Garrett Bowles, all those guys come out and be like, hey, we're a playoff team. We don't know why all these chat GPT bots are saying we're going to be a 5-win team. And now with all this, you're seeing PJ Locke after this last week come out and say, hey, we're going to win out. Not just like we're going to sneak into the playoffs and hope that the Cincinnati Bengals keep losing and the Colts lose and we're going to sneak in. the Broncos are going to take these last couple games by storm. We're going to win out before our bye week here. We're going to just mollywop the Raiders. We're going to take care of business on a Monday Night Football game against the Cleveland Browns and then beat the Colts after our bye week. And from there, we're already at 9 wins. We need one more to get in the playoffs, and it's happening this year. And then from the playoffs, who's going to want to face us? Nobody. Something else that keeps coming up to me that I just have to hear from all y'all in Broncos country is if you take a look at the total, like the year in total and compare it to last year in total, it's not like popping off like it's a brand new offense. But to me, it feels totally different. But there are still, I'm on this AFC West roundtable once a week, and there are guys who are saying stuff like, well, your offense isn't that much better than it was under Russell Wilson. And is it just me, or does it feel like a night and day difference? Like maybe what they're doing is looking at the analytics for the entire year, including that first game where we didn't even know how to prepare for a Mike McDonald offense, and then playing, Steelers at home and then playing in a monsoon. But man, I think we have analytics now that are proving that this offense is different. If you take a look at last year, we only had 2 30-point games, and then we only had 7 games where he had over 200 yards passing, which is a pretty low number in today's NFL. And then if you look at this year, we already, even though we have a bunch of the year in front of us against some mediocre defenses, we already have 3 30-point games, and then we have 8 games where we've thrown over 200 yards passing. So I feel like it is a complete night and day difference, and the NFL is starting to give Bo Nix the credit that he deserves. He has won Rookie of the Week. He won Rookie of the Month, and that was cool. But Bo Nix is like, hey, I'm not worried about competing against these rookies. I'm competing against all offensive players in the AFC, and he got the Reese's Award for AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So this is like, you're talking, he's going against Lamar, he's going against Joe Burrow, he's going against like the former MVPs of the league, and he won this. So to me, Bo Nix is peaking at the perfect time. He is getting his confidence. We're going into Los Angeles, and he has a chance to play against an incredibly beat-up secondary, a defensive line that's beat up without Kuntz, without Christian Wilkinson, and essentially we can take care of Max Crosby, and we're going to be in very, very good shape. Awesome to see that Bo Nix is the first offensive rookie quarterback in franchise history to win this honor. So Jay Cutler never did. We didn't have Jake Plummer as a rookie. Obviously, we didn't have Peyton Manning as a rookie. And then Tim Tebow didn't either. Drew Lock never did. Any of those. Paxton Lynch obviously never did. Although when he was playing Madden, I bet he won in on Madden. Big time gamer. Paxton Lynch cared a lot about that. So very, very exciting here. And then we're just looking. Again, all of these stats are pointing up and pointing us to have a tremendous amount of confidence as this season wraps up. He's the only rookie quarterback with 18 touchdowns and 2 or 4 fewer turnovers in a 9-game span. Bo Nix does not, he had that game against the Chiefs. It was the first quarterback all year against the Chiefs who didn't have a single turnover-worthy play. So it's not like the ball's hitting the corners in the hands and they're dropping it. Bo Nix makes the smart plays. And if you look at his interceptions this year, he had one of those on a Hail Mary at the end of a game that was as time expired and just was throwing it into a crowd. He had at least 2 of them off of his receiver's hands. I know the Mims one against the Chargers, and then against the Ravens, it went off Lil Jordan Humphrey's hands. And so you're just looking at a confident player who gets more confident by the week, and that is just absolutely fantastic news as the Denver Broncos are breaking the 8-year playoff drought, and we never stopped Bo-LIEVE. I went for the bank and I missed.